Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the thermal foxing extravaganza. We have another bumper night out on the Charlies. This is thermal foxing, and this is Team Foxer. Look at these young ones, I don't know what they're doing really, do they? What was that? Well, hey guys, I hope you're all well on this midweek evening. Just a gentle reminder, you can keep abreast of the up-to-date action by following us on Instagram. That's team_Foxer. We first of all joined myself on a solo mission to a private residence that's been losing chickens and ducks over the last few evenings. I have shot here before, so I know the layout of the land quite well. I placed the Icotec GC500 caller out around 70 yards out in the pen and played rabbit distress, mostly because there are quite a lot of rabbits here naturally, so it's something the foxes are going to predate on. I'd only been calling for a few minutes when I catch sight of the first fox that sits at the edge of the paddock just in the tall grass. I steady myself on the sticks and get ready for the shot. The first fox dropped with a very satisfying chest shot. Now experience tells me, and given the time of year that it is, it's likely to be more than one fox causing the issue. So I switch up the call to the mouse distress and manage to call in this second fox that sits in almost the same position, just a little further out. I did manage to spin the camera around. Now you can tell this is a fox looking through the infrared beam because of its blinking and also the brightness of those eyes, even though they're at the far side of the paddock. Put the caller on, called the first one out, sort of 20 minutes before the second one maybe. You probably heard that, but I heard some magpie chatter which told me that the fox was in the area. That came out to the rabbit distress call on the GC500 here, doing its thing. Fox number 1 went down, and then fox number 2 came out from where I thought it would anyway, which is behind this mound here. I've shot multiple foxes here before, and they always seem to come out that same corner. I didn't actually see where the first one come from, but it was in and around 124 yards. I forgot to press record on the spotter. I was too busy making sure the camcorder was on record. I really wanted it to come to the caller because I had it trained on the caller. Good size. There's a vixen. That's mum, obviously, look, tail's all chewed, so she's had the cubs. And dad, I would assume, is around here somewhere. The other one's actually right on the back fence here, which means oh yeah, the other side of it. Boom. Well, that's a good shot then from off the sticks. Straight down. That's one of the cubs, I think. Pretty good shot placement, right on that top of the shoulder, look. And well, I stood right over here somewhere. So that's mum, and that's come across the drain as well, look. It's covered in water. So a little boy, it's been for a swim, that one, or been through the thick. There's a ditch just here from the farm behind, but came around the back of this earth here. So great result. 2 foxes down, plenty of chickens saved. That's one very happy landowner, and I'm pleased to report no more poultry has gone missing. Now on the way home, I stopped off at my local wild pheasant shoot and noticed this fox Heading to one of the drives, I would spend quite some time painstakingly stalking around the road on the farm to get within striking distance, putting the cover between myself and the fox, and we kind of stumbled into each other. I only just got that off before it dived into the cover. What about that for a result? Windy day, or windy evening, just shot two on a private location on the way back. Thought I'd check on the wild pheasant shoot. This is literally the cover here. I saw the fox out in the field and came around on the roadway here and used this thick outside of the cover to stalk in. And this fox came round the corner, saw me, this vixen, was about to go back in, and yeah, caught it just as she came round the corner. So that is a cracking result and gives us our third fox for the evening. If you missed last week's episode, or if you just forgot, don't forget, soon coming to the channel, myself and Dwayne have been out for a rather productive session on the rats, and hey, who doesn't love a bit of ratting? Meanwhile, it's back on with the foxing, and now we're out with a keeper on what was a very bright moonlit evening. Stand number one, we try my go-to foxing piece of kit, the Icotec GC500, and try the mouse stroke vole call. This did capture the attention of a fox nearby, but it was actually the mouth squeak that finally brought it into range. Even though it came within range, it was the lip squeak that brought it further still. So this is why I always say, don't be afraid to change your call. Probably because of the moon, but it cautiously stayed at 160 yards, and that's where it fell. It's down here.
He ain't very big.
No, it's little, isn't it?
Look.
That's one of this year's, isn't it?
Well, it is. Oh, there's another, obviously a load more, isn't there?
Gotta be, aren't there? It might be worth going past the spinney up to the next field.
What, pull out that end and stop?
Yeah, because you can see round that way.
He ain't on his own.
No.
Another pea field through the yard as well, further up.
Yeah, well, we'll go and have a look round there.
No, he's a late hatch one.
I'll tell you what, look at that for a shot. Look where it's hit him.
Oh, yeah, nice one. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, he's a late one, he is.
Yeah.
Well, you can bet you for some more. Hold on.
I'd rather not, I want them.
Hey? Yeah.
Mind you, you're at the right height.
Don't you
I swear that is going to wear my bleeping machine right out. Fox number two I spotted on the farm track a little bit further up. I put the caller on and it came back out, was about to run off, and that good old fashioned oi stopped it. You know what curiosity did? Well, okay, it's not a cat, but it did the same thing. There he is, look. Here's a young'un. Good result.
late, ain't they?
Yeah. They're pretty young, aren't they?
No, they are, very.
Pretty dead as well.
Well, it shouldn't be any that sort of that size this time of year.
No, the others we had the other night, they were quite well on.
Oh yeah, I mean they're late.
Right, see if we can get some more. Well, I'm actually lying to you here, guys. It didn't actually go anywhere. We spun around having shot that fox, and this one was in the onion field behind us. So I used a lip squeak. It was fairly productive on that first fox. It caught its attention. It came in, but again, a little cautious because I'm pretty certain it could see us because of the moon, but it was too late. So far we've only travelled a few hundred yards and we've accounted for 3 foxes already. It's starting to be a fairly productive evening. The birds are now in, so this lot would have caused some serious damage. Another cub?
Little dog. Same litter.
Yeah. These young ones, I don't know what they're doing really, do they?
No, little dog.
To our surprise, a few hundred yards up that farm track did we bump into fox number 4 out in the field, mooching around. It wasn't interested in the call one bit, so I instructed Steve to actually drive across the field so we could get within range. It's just under 170 yards here to this fox, but I'm riding a crest of confidence, so I take the shot. However, out in the open here, the wind's picked up a little bit and the shot goes through the leg and exits, so the fox needed a quick follow-up shot.
Yeah.
I did hit him twice, did I?
Yeah, straight through the front shoulder and blew his head off for the next one.
Ah.
Dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all over the place. That's 4 then, isn't it?
One there and blew his head off.
I bet I only went through that front leg then, because it was still moving. Obviously wouldn't have made it far in the head first time, would it? With the wind really picking up on this evening, we had time for one more fox. This one came in to rabbit distress call from quite some way away until it came within range, and I took this one out with another headshot. Oi! I couldn't include that one in my lineup because it was simply too gory. Now things don't always go dead smooth. This here, the scope refreshed itself right at the second I took the shot, and clearly you can see the fox running off there. That was a clean miss. Missed it completely. Other times you'll call in completely the wrong species. This roebuck comes in to the fox fight call. Not had that before. And then other times it's just right place, right time. I'm out with Dwayne on this particular occasion. I called once, this fox came straight out the woods and just sat there. Quite some way off. Nevertheless, it went down. That's a fair old way, that. Is it? Yeah. 261. A couple of nights later, and on a very moonlit but slightly damp evening, and I'm out with Steve again. This time the foxes are reading the rulebook perfectly well, and this one comes in to a little under 70 yards. That's giving you a headache. Well, we've got a stupid bright moon. But even off the top of the car at 68 yards, look, you can even see daylight. That fox is just here at 68 yards. Well, I'm going to jump the dike, Steve, and go and retrieve it. This one, same field in fact. Just at the top of the same field we've shot that one in, and I saw the fox in the neighbouring field. It darted back through the hedge, disappeared. I called, it came, I conquered. That was loud, wasn't it?
Hey?
That was loud.
You come?
Yeah. Well, just goes to show there, we've just come another well, in fact, to the end of this field. Look, here's the hedge here, so edge of the field, and another one. I saw it actually in the neighbouring field. It came through the hedge, must have gone straight back into the spinney. Kept calling. It come down the bank and just sat there, 137 yards, and smacked it one. And you could, the detail in the thermal, I could see when I hit it, I could see a spurt of blood coming out of it. So a bit gory, but it'd be interesting to play that back and just to see what it looked like. Right, let's go and grab it. It's obviously a cub from the same litter. Jesus Christ. It's actually the dog. That's Dad. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm going to have to block that out. That is way too gory. Flipping heck. Alright, well, that's 3 down. Onwards and upwards. Just on to the next farm now, and we'd bumped this fox twice on already, so it had the adrenaline pumping, but it did stop at 170. That's what we call in the trade a double lung death dance. That's bone dry. That's never seen that dike empty. He's here, look.
Oh! Yeah. Oh, there's been some cubs about, hasn't there?
Yeah. Where did it go? A little bit back, wasn't it?
A bit of lung.
Yeah, well, that's the exit, so it went in on that side somewhere. I aimed on the shoulder, but so it was 170 yards, so it weren't. That other one was definitely a bit more than one. Oh, where are we? I'm going the wrong chuffing. I don't know. I'm lost.
Sorry if I'm upset, yeah.
I've done my job. I'm off home. As we got back in the Land Rover and before moving off, it's always a good idea to have another scan. And sure enough, I did so with the thermal spotter and noticed a fox making his way across the top end of the neighbouring field, some nearly 500 yards away. 4 minutes of painstakingly calling and the fox had come roughly halfway before deciding to go back in the other direction. It's a long shot, but I'm feeling confident. It did try and stand up and moved into the centre of the wheeling, and I gave it a second round and finished it off. I knew it was a long way because I seldom have to take shots on 8 times mag.
What you mean, but it's still out here.
There's no wind at all, is there?
Nothing.
That's what I thought. I'll take a couple of long shots this evening. There isn't there, is there? Not a breath.
Look at that, look.
Yeah.
It's a weird mix, isn't it? That's 5.
Yeah. That's 2 5s we've had.
Yeah.
We'll measure it back to the car. It's hard to ping it when it's laying on the floor like that. It was a fair old way there. It started going back away, didn't it?
Yeah. It looked like it was coming there at one stage.
Well, it was. It come quite. It's still. I mean, it's a long old field. This. It came a fair way up, and then it sort of decided it had enough and it weren't coming anymore.
Yeah.
And there's no way it could see us all the way up there.
Oh no.
Christ, that was a long way, wasn't it? Well, look at that. We've gone past the start of the drive.
Yeah.
What was that?
He's dead. Another young one. Oh. Look at that. That must be the first shot.
That first shot went, because it was looking at us, it went in and unzipped it, didn't it?
How far's that?
I'm going to measure it now. That's a long way. Dog, isn't it, that one?
Yeah, young dog.
Is it a young one?
Yeah, definitely.
No, yeah, it's got
Tail,
baby teeth, yeah. Alright, let's measure it. At 266 yards, it's one of the longest foxes I've managed to actually capture on film. I did get another one that evening, but didn't press the record button, can't get them all. But we also saw several more foxes out, so I'm sure we will be out again very soon. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting. See you in the next one.